Welcome everybody. It says we got 31 people in the class. Do me a favor, if you can hear me, type yes in the chat. We got about 4 minutes until we get started. I need some participation and some interaction. Nice. Welcome. So, do me a favor. Where are you coming from? Where are you around the world? Type in your market and your living location. Las Vegas, Montana. Oh man, we got a lot of Las Vegas in here. Taking over. Maryland, Cali, Texas, Florida. Tanya, hi. What does that say, Beth Ellen? Does it say
we want to learn us Las Vegans?
Las Vegans is spelled the same way as vegans?
Yes.
Vegans, yeah.
All right, we are at 159 according to my watch. Do me a favor. If try to keep your device muted so we can be respectful of everyone's experience, please. So I saw Aurelio. I think your mic is unmuted. Please mute your mic, Mr. or Miss Perez. Thank you. All right, everybody. Welcome to this social media mastermind. My name is Jerome Lewis, and I'm here with my lovely co-host from Las Vegas, Beth Ellen. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Beth Ellen, and I am the senior citizen of this group, and I believe we all work for Google. I truly mean that. So much of my business comes from my Google work, so I am so thrilled that we have a Google expert here. I can't wait to learn, and thank you, Jerome, for finding us this wonderful person.
You are very welcome. Before we dive into Google, we are going to go over some housekeeping, and I'm going to tell you how you can get the best experience from this class. As normal, there's this quote, right? So let me look up this quote so I can share it, because I have yet to share it. So give me a few seconds. I want people to be aware of this quote because I like it, and I like quotes for some reason. So I'm going to share this quote, and this quote is the theme. I want you to think about class this way, right? When you participate in any kind of training or any kind of class, I want you to think about this quote this way, right? And some of you may have heard it before, some of you may have not. So I'm going to say the quote, and what I want to do is I want to encourage participation. So when I mention the quote, tell me if you heard it before, tell me if you have not heard it before, right? So are we ready? Type yes in the chat if you're ready. Yes. Tatiana, hi. Okay. All right. So here's the quote, and this is the quote, right? And I want you to get your mindset, and like all of the training that you do, I want you to keep this in mind when you do it, right? So it's a quote. It's attributed to Benjamin Franklin, right? And the quote is, "Tell me, I forget. Teach me, I may remember, and involve me, and I learn." And the reason why I bring that quote up is because some of us, we come in training and all we do is sit there and learn. We don't participate, right? Well, I want to encourage you to participate because you learn better when you're actively participating. Who agrees with that? Yes or no? Type it in the chat. Say it again. I'll be happy to say it again, Melissa. I'll be happy to say it again. This is probably going to be one of our themes for this class. We're always talking about doing, participation, engagement. So here's the quote again, and it's attributed to Benjamin Franklin. So, tell me and I forget. Teach me and I may remember. Involve me and I learn. Got it? Okay, perfect. So the reason why I bring that up is because I don't want you to come in this class and just sit there and try to absorb information. I want you to interact and engage, talk to other people, and engage in the chat room, talk with the speaker, ask questions, etc., etc. Right? Let's get into it. Let me know in the chat. So we have 38 people here right now. In the chat, I need at least 50% engagement to proceed to the next phase, right? In this case, it's our slides. So tell me in the chat if you can see my screen. You should see EXP Realty Social Media Mastermind on the screen. Type yes if you can see it.
That's what we're doing right now.
Okay, perfect. Bethellen, I need you to mute. Mute. Bethellen. Thank you. All right, so welcome to the Social Media Mastermind. This is a mastermind for generating business using social media and digital marketing. We have this class every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I am your co-host. I am your host. Our co-host already introduced herself. That's Bethellen. Again, we have this class every Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time in the Productivity Center every single week. All right, so who is this guy? I'm your host. Who am I? If you've never seen me, those are my pictures. That's what I look like. I am from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I like to consider myself a silly but serious millennial. Like, that's my personality. That's how I like to identify and categorize myself, because I'm silly, but I'm also serious. Something else about me, I'm a technologist, so I love technology. And what that means to you is I like to take technology, how complicated it can seem, and I like to simplify it for you. So that's a lot of the basis around this class too. Next, you might be surprised, but I am an introvert. I'm an introvert. That's my personality type. A lot of us know about Myers-Briggs, ISFJ, and ES, whatever. I am an introvert at the core, right? Next, we often talk about DISC in the DISC personality assessment here in EXP. So my DISC behavioral profile, and the reason I'm bringing this up, so you can understand the delivery, you can understand my teaching style. My DISC personality assessment is I'm a high D and I'm a high C. And what that means is, like, they categorize, they put the two together, and that makes me an implementer. What that means for you is I'm results oriented. So if you want to get some results, if that's what you want, I'm your guy. So I help you get results. The other thing is I'm very detailed. So I'm very detailed and I'm very exact in my approach. So if I might not know the answer to something, I'll say no. If I do, I'll say yes. I am very technical and very exact. Okay. I'm also a real estate investor, and you know by now I'm also a real estate instructor because I'm hosting and I'm teaching this class to you, right? And if you want to learn more about me, I have a website. It's jeromelewis.com. All right, these are some tips. So remember, I mentioned that participation. If you're ready to proceed, do me a favor and type yes in the chat. So now we have 43 people. I need to see at least 22 yeses to proceed. Okay, perfect. All right, so here is some tips. So first and foremost, this event is sponsored by EXP. We're having it here in EXP World. I like to thank EXP, or whoever our sponsor is. In this case, it's EXP. So thank you to EXP for allowing me to teach and put on this class. Next is to get the most of this class, I want you to take advantage of your devices around you, your phone and your computer. And you see here on this bullet points, it says screenshots. So what I want you to do is I want you to get comfortable with taking some screenshots, right? Take screenshots or take pictures of anything that you see or you might find interesting. Okay, so take some screenshots. Do that. Next, that's not relevant, so we're not going to talk about that. Links and resources. Normally, we have a speaker or presenter, and we tell you how you can get links and resources. That's not really relevant either. These are some more tips. Engagement. So remember that quote that I mentioned? Let me see. Let me go back to that quote. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I may remember. Involve me and I learn. So again, I'm going to encourage that you participate. Participate in this class to get the most out of it. So type in the chat box, ask questions, talk to your peers, talk to your colleagues, the instructors, talk to everybody. You want to make it into a community and involve yourself as much as possible because you learn more when you get more involved, right? Next, for my EXP, like sometimes we get so many tools and resources here. Like we have everything that we need in our business, to be completely honest, but sometimes we forget the things that are available. So you see here, one of the bullets that I have here is EXP University. So we have an entire university where we that's afforded to you 50 to 60 hours of live training every single week. So we have everything we need here, including the training. Don't forget about EXP University and all the other trainings available. Next is, this is one of my favorite resources and assets that you have here. Typically, when you go to like a real estate company or something like that, you got to come up with your own assets and own content, all that. Well, EXP Marketing Center, it has a lot of that content for us there already, and some of us don't know about it. So I want to make you aware of the EXP Marketing Center, right? This is so you're in the social media mastermind class, and this is our schedule, our rotating schedule. We have this class every Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern time, and this is a rotating schedule. This changes, but this is generally how our schedule is. So what you want to do is, if you want to know what the schedule is like or what's coming up, you want to take a screenshot of this. So whip out your phone or use the screenshot feature on your phone or your computer. But this is the schedule, and this is generally what it looks like. Week 1 is typically around Facebook and Facebook marketing. Week 2 is typically around Instagram. Week 3 now is going to be Google Ads, and using Google Ads to get listings or maybe even find buyers. We have to find that out in the future. Then week 4 is YouTube and video marketing. Week 5, we generally do like an open Q&A. We do a workshop. It depends on the feel for that month or feel for that week, but that's what the structure is normally like. And so here we go. Like externally, we're trying to build up assets for EXP while also bringing you more value. So what I mean by that, we're building a community. So we're trying to build communities out there in EXP. We have a community, a Facebook group, the social media mastermind. And what we plan on doing is adding resources and building this up as another asset for you, as well as other agents, and you potentially attract other agents. We know we have that the revenue, the agent attraction part of our business. Well, we're building this group to attract other agents, get you free resources, and bring value to you. So I'm going to share a link to this group in the chat so you can access that group. And it's called, we're calling it, for now, we're calling it the social media mastermind. So this is one of my, look, some of you been to my class before and you heard me ask this question, but I want to ask this question because I like to set the proper expectations around lead generation. And sometimes we get some new people. Again, we need 50% engagement. So we're up to 47 people. We're up to 47 people. That means we need, what's my math? That means we need at least 24 people, 24 responses in the chat. So here comes the question, right? Let me ask you a question. Who here got married on the first date? Type it in the chat. I need responses. Type yes if you have. Type no if you have not. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Great. Next question. Who here is willing to get married on the first date? So we got a lot of no's. I'm glad to see people saying no. I like the passionate ones. Hell no. No, thank you. The exclamation points. I like that. All right. So the reason why I like to bring that up, I like to bring that question up, is because we as real estate agents, business owners, business professionals, we need to start thinking about our lead generation the same way, our marketing. We got to think about our marketing the same way. People are not going to want to do business with us on the first try. We got to build that relationship. So we have to establish a relationship in order to do business with people. Think about your marketing the same way. Nobody does business on the first try. So keep that in mind when you're doing marketing. That being said, right? Look, you got to bear with me because I think our presenter is having a hard time getting in. So what we got to do is we're going to get ready for Google. We're going to get ready for Google Ads, using Google to get listings. But our speaker is not here yet. So I'm going to try to take 5 minutes to get the speaker in to the room so he can present for us. So Sit tight 5 minutes. I apologize. I don't know. I'm going to fix it though. So give me 1 second. If he can't present, I'll present to you on, please mute. I'll present
Do
to
you
you.
want me to do a question and answer while you're working on this?
Sure. Go for it. Thank you.
All right, so does anybody have social media questions for a baby boomer? If not, then we'll wait for Jerome to come back, but I've been working hard on this, so talk to us. Talk to me while we're waiting for this Google guy. So I do want to say that Google, I work for Google. My EXP license, my real estate license hangs at EXP, but I work for Google. I maintain that most of my business that's not referral all comes from Google, and I say that if somebody heard of you, wants to do business with you, I maintain they're going to Google you first. Do you agree or not? So this is why learning how to do this is so important. And that's why in a couple weeks we're going to do how to be a Google guide. I have almost 2 million views. I taught this to Judy Burke. She has 4 million views. And Judy got over $1 million sales from her Google guides. That's because Google now loves her because you're working on a Google platform. So anything you do with Google, especially buying leads, they're going to love you because you're spending money on their platform. That algorithm is going to know that. So I just can't wait to learn how to do this because this will make Google love me more. So any questions, please, and I'll see if I can answer them.
Google what? You just said Google what?
I'll type it in. It's Google Guides. It's you do reviews of people, but most important of businesses on Google Maps platform. And I heard about this from the gentleman who taught this class before Jerome, Chris Armstrong. And in a year and a half, I'm up to 2 million views, but I'm in Las Vegas. It's a small market. If Levi Richards is here, he's in Houston, and he's got almost 2 million in 6 months. And Judy Burke, who lives in LA, Orange County, has 4 million. And how do you become a get 4 million views of anything? It's unbelievable. It's really easy. It's really fun. You can repurpose your content. And I'm going to teach that in a couple of weeks in the content creators. Maybe Jerome will let me teach it to y'all, but it is the most fun, easy way to get love letters from Google.
So you just taught the one with your son on LinkedIn. I love that. That's how I connect you. So you're going to do one on the Google.
Yes, in a couple of weeks. Next week we're going to show you on LinkedIn how to make that video circle intro. And the week after that, I'm going to do Google Guides.
Fantastic. All right.
So how do you get Google to verify your page? You create your page, and they mail you it takes 2 weeks, but they physically mail you via U.S. mail a letter with a code. And then you go into your page and type in the code because they want to confirm that the physical address is correct. And if you do not sell real estate in the city that your EXP brokerage is based, use your home address. I know I'm a single woman. I've had my Google page for 15 years. I've used my home address, and no one has ever showed up. I'm worried about my security, but it's the only way to keep it safe because I don't sell where my broker is, and I don't want any confusion. All right, so did you, Patricia, type in the code that the mail postcard sent you? What you do is you go back to Google My Business and type in the code. The Google Guides are different from the Google My Business. More info on getting verified. Nate has put it in the chat. Nate is the most amazing archivist. You are on how to get it. So that's Nate. So that's you Google Beth Ellen Rosenthal, I organically come up first in Google. But if you even Google just Beth Ellen, I come up first. And even though my name is spelled unusually, when I tried to get the domain name, it was gone. And I checked it out. There are like 200 people with my name spelled that way. But Google loves me because I work for Google, and they appreciate it. And I haven't bought Google Ads, but I'm going to after this. So I got to learn how to, this is the one Google thing I don't use. And Google gives you your own website. For Google Your Business, I post 500 words twice a week on real estate. And they promote my blog. I did one just this week on be sure you can get insurance on your house, because with all this climate change, fires and floods and biblical weather things, the insurers are pulling out, and you don't want to find out 2 weeks before your house closes or a week that you can't insure it, because then you can't get a lender. So that's helping my Google rating.
Okay. Thank you, Beth Ellen. Does anybody have any final question? Beth Ellen, could you mute? Does anybody have any final questions before we get on to our main speaker? All right, so I see 3 people typing. All right, so we got 51 people here. Do me a favor. Let's go back to the engagement. If you are ready to proceed and get with if you're ready to see our speaker, type yes in the chat, please. All right, perfect. Thank you. So our speaker is here. He's going to show us how to do Google, how to use Google, how to create an ad on Google Leads. He can't show us everything, but he's going to show us some actionable steps that we can do today to get some leads from Google. Kyrie, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just looking for you. I'm looking for you.
Okay, I'm here somewhere. I don't know where I am, but here's what we're going to do. You need to share your screen, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I'm going to relinquish control of my screen, and I'm going to walk you through. Do you know how to share the screen?
I do not.
Okay, so there's a big main screen up top in the front. I want you to use that screen. That screen is bigger, a little bit better. So go over to that screen and left click on that screen, right?
Okay.
And there should be a pop-up in your world, and there should be like a URL down there, but you should see a bunch of icons next to that URL box, and there's a TV looking icon. You want to click that icon. Okay, perfect. Now we see your screen.
All right, what's next?
Oh,
would I have to go to Google through here?
We just need to see your screen. Do you have Google up?
Yeah, it's up. I don't know why it's. Hold on. Maybe if I exit.
No, no, we can't see it. I didn't.
All right. We're getting there. Hold on. Yeah, that's weird. I thought it was just. Let me try something. Hold on.
Could you? All right. I think I know what the issue is. You might have to pop into tech support, because usually, like with Mac, it acts a little bit weird. And I don't know how long that's going to take.
I might be able to. Let me see if I can log in just directly from EXP and just have it.
Okay.
On here.
Okay.
Jerome, I found if you have the slide deck up on Google and you go to share my screen and then just click on the present bar on top, the screen comes up.
Yeah, but he has to walk us through like a actual demo, so it's not just slides.
Yeah, I was gonna give you guys as much knowledge on Google Ads as possible just by being inside Google Ads. Let's see. Let's try this again because it's not loading. So google.com. Ads.google. That is so weird how it's not showing.
All right. You might have to pop over to tech support. That'll probably be the quickest way to resolve that, because I don't understand Mac at all and how to get that set up.
Okay. So yeah, how would I go to tech support? Is that
Um, darn it, man. You can click. You can click. Tatiana, do you remember how?
I'm wondering if Kahari, if he closes his like world window and just stays outside of the Mac, like outside of the world window on your desktop.
It's not even
Yes.
showing. It's doing that weird Mac thing.
Huh. Oh yeah, see, like
Yeah.
at the top, like right there, is he not able to open a new web browser, like maybe bookmarks?
It's only showing. It's got this weird permission thing that it just doesn't do. He's got to get to tech support. Can you tell him how to get to tech support?
Yeah. To get to tech support, click the go-to menu on the left, the upper left.
Okay.
Go to, and then about halfway down that menu, it says tech support / outpost. Yep, and then go to the tech support lobby, and then it's like a ticketing system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds
Tell
good.
tell them what your issue is, and they should be able to help you figure that out like right away. We'll try to do
Alright.
Q&A. Hopefully you can get back in 5 minutes. We'll try to do Q&A for 5 minutes and go from there. Anybody have any questions? I apologize. I should have been more prepared with the speaker. I was trying to give some grace, but I messed up. So does anybody have any questions that I can resolve or answer? How to create a page. Mindy, when you say how to create a page, what do you mean by that? Like what kind of page?
Well, whoever was speaking last spoke about creating a page on Google, and then they send a letter with a code. I don't know. I'm all new to this.
Okay, Bethellen, could you talk about that, please?
Yeah, so you create a Google My Business page. So go to Google My Business page and you set that up. But they will not put it, Google will not put it live until they confirm that the address you put on the page is actually the address of the business. I use my personal address because I work in a town that is different from where the Nevada state broker is, and I don't want that to confuse my customers.
Yes,
They-
I heard
Google then mails you a postcard with a 6-digit or 8-digit code. You go back to Google My Business page and you type in the code and it goes live.
So you just do a search for
Here's
my,
Bethellen, could you mute? Here's how you do it. So pay attention to the front screen and you'll see, like, I'll give you like just a mini walkthrough on how you do it. So everybody here should kind of have a Google account. We should all have like Google and Facebook or like some of these accounts somehow. Like if you have a phone, you should have a Google account. Once you're inside of Google and you have your Google account, typically Gmail, YouTube, you can't really access those things without the Google account. But once you're in your Google account, do me a favor. We got 53 people. Type yes in the chat if you can see my screen so I can walk Mindy through how to create like a Google My Business or figure that out. Okay. All right. Perfect. Thank you so much, y'all. I appreciate your patience. I appreciate your engagement. I appreciate your participation. So here's what you do, Mindy. Once you're logged into Google, once you sign in, like when you go to Google originally, google.com, you see just the plain Google. This is like not being signed in at all. So this is my screen. You would sign in. Once you sign in, which I'm signed in on the other browser, you go here, these icons here, you get a bunch of different Google apps. One of the reasons why I love Google is because a lot of this stuff is free and it gets you a lot of exposure and they're just really good tools for your business. So I'm going to ask Bethellen to talk about like those views that Judy got. She showed Judy how to get like views on Google and she's up in the millions using strictly Google. But the way you kind of create your Google My Business page and account is here. You go here and when you're logged in your account, if you don't have a Google My Business page already, they will prompt you and start to ask you some things around Google My Business for a page. In addition to, so you establish your business there, but they also give you an option to create like a page, like a Google My Business page. If I click here, and it's not the best page, but it helps to have it. So these are, and you can see we talked about this earlier, but one of my accounts are suspended. I'm fighting with Google to get that back up. But all right, yeah, so this is how you do it. I don't know where they allow you to kind of create that page exactly, but normally they prompt you. And actually I think I do think I know where it is. No, that's not right.
Find it.
Okay. See your profile. All right, so I don't know exactly where that page is, but that's how you do it. You would create that Google My Business account.
Jerome, will you show us your Google My Business page?
Wait, sure. Judy has 4 million. Levi is 2 million. Which one you want to see? So I got two. I got the one as an agent, which got shut down because I did it incorrectly, but I also got my marketing business here, so you can see that. Okay. This is the Google My Business page for my marketing business. And you get all of this access and all of the things here. This is everything here. They give you a website or a web page, but I don't know exactly where it is. Here it is, right here, website. So that's how you get a page. But before you get that page, you want to establish yourself as a business on Google. Is that helpful?
Yes.
Okay, Tracy, what I did incorrectly was I put like the wrong address or something. I forget exactly what I did. It was a while ago, but yeah, that's what I did incorrectly. You have to be specific with Google. Beth Ellen, she was talking about it earlier, like the Reno, like I don't know exactly what the technicalities are. Beth Ellen can tell you about that, but I messed up by putting in the wrong address. All right. Since we're having issues with like the screen sharing and everything like that, we're going to turn this into a Q&A. I believe Kyrie is still here, so he can answer questions, and maybe we can do like a Zoom over like another time, like some kind of workshop, and give you back like maybe we can do a workshop on the side, like outside of EXP World, where he can show you how to do Google Ads and he'll have more control. How does everybody think? What do we think about that? We got 51 users. Is that something that you would like to do or see? Are you okay with that?
Would love that.
Okay. Kyrie, are you still here?
Jerome, while you're on your Google My Business page, might you show them where the link is to get reviews so people can get reviewed on Google?
Yes. Did our speaker leave? Yeah, he left, I guess. All right, so I'll work with him and get that workshop set up for you all. I apologize that we could not do it today, but I'll take care of getting it resolved. I'll find a way to make it up to you. Let me share the Facebook link again. I'll probably try to make the announcement there. And then whatever questions you have around Google or just any social media, you can ask here and we'll try to get that resolved. Okay. So any questions? Beth Ellen said the reviews. So reviews are here. Like once you establish yourself on Google My Business, and that's as agents, we talk about this in some of our other classes, but us as agents, something that we need to consider like for our reviews and our review process is getting away from Zillow. Some people hate Zillow. Some people love Zillow. I like Zillow because they're a tech company. I think they're doing good, but don't shoot me. But one of the things that you should do is work your reviews and put them on Google. And the way you do that is you establish your Google My Business profile, your Google My Business account. And once you get in, you get access to all of these different tabs and all of these different features. One of those features is right here, the reviews. You kind of click on that review, that tab. And how do you share the link? I don't know how to share the link.
Hey, Jerome, I'm back, by the way.
Okay. All right. We're going to try to do a Q&A for you. We're going to try to do a Q&A, and I asked our audience if I told them that we would try to set up a workshop outside of what we did today. So we have to work out the details. Are you open to doing that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially since, yeah. We'll
okay. All right. So we'll work out the details on that, and that's how we'll bring you the value for the time that we lost here today. So, Beth Ellen, I don't know how to get my Google review link. I found it somewhere, but I don't know how to get to it here.
Go into reviews and keep scrolling down. It says, here's your link. It's on the right.
It's on the right.
Go back to reviews.
I'm still in reviews.
Huh.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Anybody,
Let you
any,
know.
yeah, it's okay. Anybody have any questions around Google or social media in general? Let me know. I'm here, Beth Ellen's here, and Kyrie is here too. We all wanted to learn about Google, so he can answer some questions. I know some people had very specific questions around Google and Google Ads, so you can ask Kyrie questions while he's here too. Anybody have any questions?
Before you guys actually start asking the questions, if you want to type them, I can definitely answer them. And one, I do want to, a quick disclaimer, I'm not a white male with long hair. I'm a black man and I'm bald, but time of the essence. But yeah, in regards to the Google aspect of everything, the Google Ads aspect, Google Ads and Google My Business are two separate things. So I did want to clarify that. You know, Google Ads is paid advertising. Google My Business, I haven't done enough research on it as of yet, but it is a new feature. So if you are using it, you're definitely going to be favored by Google on the, I'm assuming, non-paid aspect. So it's good for branding for sure. But when you are trying to, if you're looking, you always have to be able to distinct the two things. Lead generation and branding are not the same thing. Not when you're starting out, at least. Your brand can provide leads, absolutely, but when you are making a decision to begin advertising with any social media platform, you have to choose one in the beginning, early on. All right? If you
Yes,
want to
thank
see
you.
success.
Could you, so from your perspective, right? And I agree. So I don't want, somehow we got into Google My Business, but we do know that Google advertising is different, and even like YouTube advertising is different. Could you give us a perspective? Could you talk about the different? What's your perspective, like Google Ads versus Google My Business? Could you talk about that a little bit so we can stop confusing the two?
Absolutely. So Google My Business, from what I've seen, I'm still getting used to it myself. That would be something more from a brand standpoint that's going to provide social proof and social value to anybody that sees you online. But the problem with that is, and I could be completely wrong, but I'm just going to make an assumption here. Most people don't even have the proper SEO set up for their websites, a website that's converting, or any real traffic going to their website. So Google My Business may work now temporarily because it's a new feature and it's favored by the algorithm, but there are so many other steps to really make it work in your favor that needs to be set up on your end as an agent. Now, Google Ads, I'm trying to like simplify when I speak about this. Google Ads is a paid advertising platform ran by Google, and it has nothing to do with branding. It has nothing to do with anything. It just has to do with, hey, these are the individuals I am looking for. They're selling homes and they want to sell, relatively quickly. The average point we're getting is anywhere from 1 to 6 months. It's mainly 1 to 3 months what we're seeing when leads come in of people who want to sell. And it has nothing to do with your branding. It has nothing to do with your company that you're representing. Of course, you'll have on the landing page, you'll have your branding information for legality purposes. But what I'm saying is, when you are running ads on Google, do not get caught up in the whole, I need to show my brand or they won't know who I am. People that are filling out forms online aren't really interested in who you are. They're just interested in, can you provide enough value, or what can you do for me? And that distinction, when you can clearly understand that and focus less on you and be less, oh, this is who I am, this is who I work for, and come from a standpoint with leads from how do I provide more value? What can I do for you? You're going to see, one, your lead conversion go through the roof. There's an entire process for this, and I'm going to answer that question very soon, Debbie. There's an entire process that goes beyond just the lead generation. It's also why we don't take on every single realtor that does want to work with us, because we understand what the process is. Now, where do people see your Google ads? They see them when you just type on Google. So if someone types how to sell my house, it's going to be on the Google search bar. And from there, but there's other places you could place it, but the main placement is going to be on that Google search bar. So when you type in anything, you'll see three advertised websites, and the rest are organic. And the ones that are organic, that's something with SEO. We're not going to get into that. You know, I'm more of a instant gratification kind of guy. I don't know about you, but I prefer to just get the leads. All right. Really quickly, can I try to share my screen one more time?
Yes, try the screen on the left.
The one on the left.
Or go ahead. Try to share your screen.
All right. Well, this feels like something that would be mine, but I don't know if it is.
Anybody else have any questions around social media or Google, anything in particular? We're here to answer your questions.
Yeah, I just have a question again. You just said we only have certain people work with us, but I'm confused. Where are you from? Are you with Google?
Who are you talking to? Kyrie runs a marketing agency, so that's what he meant when he said that. Like, they help realtors generate leads using Google, and that's what he meant.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I used to actually be an EXP agent, and I no longer am a realtor, just due to the fact that, one, it was really a morality thing. I didn't want these leads coming in and there to even be an ounce of temptation for me to, do anything, any foul play or anything of that nature. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna drop my license and strictly focus on running ads.
Okay.
What's the name of your marketing company?
The Real Estate Robot.
Thank you.
Kyrie, are you able to answer questions and like work at the same time? We have a question.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. David is asking, what do we need to get started with Google Ads?
A Google Ads account, actually. That's really it. So you go to ads.google.com, and from there, you'll be able to just create a Google Ads account. It's really simple to set up.
Okay.
You can
here.
go on YouTube, and there's like 60-second videos showing you how to do it.
Okay, thank you. Another question. I'm from South Africa. I'm from South Africa. Does Google recognize your location and target your ads accordingly?
Yes, because you can actually set up your ads to be for a certain location. So I don't know. Are you trying to hide your location? Like, what? Can you clarify a little bit?
Debbie, do you want to open up your mic? Yes, thank you.
Yes, there you go. No, I just want to know, I mean, it's no use me trying to sell a property in South Africa if my ads are going to show somewhere where my market is not. So I just wanted to know if Google recognizes that so that it targets my market.
Oh, yeah, you can set it to target wherever you want. It doesn't go based off where you live, it's based off where you want to target.
Oh, I see, okay.
Yeah, so.
Thanks.
So Kyrie, I had experience with Google Ads that I was very pleased with. So I wrote a book, and I was going to do Google advertising to let the world know I wrote this book. And I went through the Google Ads and did picked the right markets. And then I got an phone call from Google advertising people, and they said to me, you did this all wrong. And the guy walked me through it, and he said the search terms I picked for people to look at were wrong, and he picked more for me and then went over the economics of the ad. And I was so impressed that somebody would actually help me be more successful doing Google Ads. So I did Facebook ads for a long time, and no one helped me, and I got frustrated, but Google helped me from day one.
Absolutely, 100%. Google is, when you're a new customer, they do try to support you as much as possible. But once that's over, though, like after the second time, the support's gone. I promise you, it leaves very quickly, very quickly.
Kyrie,
let me look at these.
Are you still trying to share your screen?
Is it on here?
We see Google, but that's it. We just see Google.
Okay, all right then. Very well. So I'll just break it down, like this aspect, because we don't have time to go through what I want to go through. I was actually going to take you guys and show you how to set up an ad, but We could do that for another time in May. So it's pretty simple, right? Google tracks a couple things. One, so far we spent around, I think the last 30 days, we spent around $6,000 in ads. Once again, we have other clients, so it's not all one person. And we've generated 608 leads.
You have your connection is not the greatest. Is it only me, or does everybody else? How's it going? Type in the chat. Let me know if you can hear him well. I want to make sure it's not just me. Okay. We have a bad connection.
Hold on. Yeah, I don't. All right. Hey, everything's going against you right now, I see. Reinitialize voice settings. Audio settings.
Yeah, Kyrie, there's an icon in the upper right. You can press that icon, left click it, and then wait a minute. Yeah, and then you'll get a drop down that says reinitialize voice. Try that. And if that doesn't work, we'll see. Are you still there, Kyrie? All right, he's having issues. Listen, we have about 15 minutes left. Again, I apologize for the technical issues that we're having, but we are going to make it up for you. I promise. Anybody have any questions that we can address or resolve? For Google My Business, do you have to buy a domain to have a website? No, you do not have to buy a domain to have a website. They'll actually give you a website, but I believe, I don't know off the top of my head, I believe you can put your website on a domain that you buy. However, it is not necessary. They will give you a website, and it looks a little funky, like the URL is weird, but they do give you a website, and you can't do much customization with that site, but they give it to you. Okay, thank you, Cindy. Yes, you can use your own URL. So I appreciate that input, Cindy.
Here's a tip. Here's a tip, though, that if you when you set up your Google My Business account, after you get the website URL, go back and put in Google My Business their website address, the Google My Business account, because the algorithm likes it and Google will like you more.
Cindy, could you open up your microphone, please? Can we get a testimonial from you, please?
Yeah.
Could you talk about your experience with Google lately, just so people understand the, I guess, the quality and the effectiveness of Google?
That lead. I don't know a lot. I can
the
only
lead.
tell you
No. Just tell us about your experience with that lead that you got from Google.
Okay. So we got an email, and she said, my son is looking to buy a home, and he's out of college, and I need to ask her further how she found us. But I called her, and we were working with them, and we're taking them out now.
How you know she came from Google?
She did tell me she came from Google, but I didn't ask her more specific questions, like how did you?
Okay. Perfect.
How did you find us? Yeah.
And what are you doing on Google?
I have been doing the Google Guides before I knew about it from Beth Ellen.
Okay.
But now that I'm learning more about, I want to learn more about what I need to write
in
our Google Guides, and then I did set up a Google Business account, long before we joined EXP.
Okay.
And I put in our URL and all of that, and I don't know what more I can do.
Okay, thank you. When you say Google Guides, could you tell us what you mean by that for the people that don't understand when you say that? Could you talk about that, please?
Yeah, just reviews for places we go out to eat or businesses that we have a relationship with, that we've done business with. We'll write a review for them and our experience with them as a vendor.
Okay, and I don't mean to like keep pouncing on you, but could you talk about like just give us like your process? Like say you wanted to go out to a restaurant and you wanted to do the Google Guide thing. Could you talk about that? Like how that process is, like what do you do?
Well, I go to if I go out to eat,
Hmm.
I look at the service and the way they treat you and their personality, and I just kind of write, that experience.
Thank you. So
And
we
and I mention specific names of people that I met, like servers at a restaurant. I'll say specifically, Sarah and Al are great servers, and they always take care of us when we're there to have a meal.
Thank you, Cindy. So we have again, I apologize that we could not get into Google Ads, but we have like many modules and many sessions that we do. And one of the sessions that we do here, and this is like kind of free, like you start to get into pay advertising, it costs money, but this Google Ads strategy is a organic strategy. Not let's not say free, but it's an organic strategy. And what you do is you go out and you review different places, different businesses. You do it on Google, and people find you that way. So Beth Ellen mentioned earlier, like she's got 2 million views from like Google Guides, and then we had another lady. I wish she was here. Judy. Judy does Google Guides too, and she has 4 million views on Google. And a lot of times people will say, "Well, how does this equate to business?" And for one, it gets you exposure. Two, it gets you like what we call Google juice, and three, you get authority and trust within Google. So and one of the ways that quantifies is, I don't know if Levi is here, but Judy, because of her 4 million views, I don't know which one of those views or how it was relevant, but she got in yes, she's in California, but that's I just want you to know I'm being transparent. But she got a $1 million listing from just one of her the Google Guide strategy. So keep that in mind. Like it's a what?
Three
Okay.
over $1 million listings, not one.
Well,
three.
you tell the story because I don't know much. So tell the story and share
Yeah,
with us, please.
So we're going to do Google Maps and content creators in a couple of weeks, but Judy came to the class. She lives in Orange County, and she is amazing at photography, and she's amazing at writing. You don't have to be good at either, but she is great at both. And she's been doing this for a year now. And during the pandemic, this is attracting people physically texted her to sell their houses. Each of them were over $1 million. Now, LA County, that might be the median in price, I don't know. But she closed 3, not 1, 3 over $1 million deals from people who saw her on Google Guides, talked to her specifically. I liked your review of this, and I want you to be my realtor. And I'm going to show you, Jerome and I together, in a couple weeks, we're going to show you how to do this. It takes a while, but it's fun. If you're going out to eat, why not do a Google Guide review, and then you can repurpose that for blogs or Instagram or whatever, but that makes Google really like you. And Levi also has gotten business from his Google Guides, and I actually did too. Last month, I got a call from a guy. He said, I saw your Google My Business and your reviews. He said, I'm selling a house in Scottsdale, and I want to buy one in Las Vegas. So I referred out it to somebody in Phoenix, and I'm going to do the real estate one. But it's fun too, and we're going to show you in 2 weeks. But Judy has over 4 million views. And if you go to Google Maps, it tells you how many views you have. That's how, to answer that question.
Yeah, today I got a call in from somebody that found me on Google, and the reason they called me is because they wanted to work with somebody that was local in their area. So they just looked up. I do rent to own, owner finance, and they just looked that up and just found my number and called me.
And Jerome helped him last week in which SEO terms he should use for that. So Jerome is just a whiz.
Yep.
So Mindy, Beth Ellen, could you? I thought we just explained that.
Okay, so there's Korea is talking about there's two ways to get business in real estate, actually in any business that you're selling. There's selling and there's attracting. And I'm going to say up front, they're both equally important, and one is not better than the other. Korea is going to teach us how to sell. That's buying Google Ads and then chasing the leads from the leads you get. That's selling. With Google Maps and blogs and LinkedIn, all that, that's attracting, and that is creating the brand of you so that the public knows who you are and they call you. Levi just had someone call him because they knew he was local. Cindy got somebody in Colorado because they Googled her and they liked what they saw of her stuff online, and that's attracting. Selling is when you call them. Attracting is when they call you, and you have to do both. I hate to should on anybody, but you should do both, and they're both important. And that's why you don't see, you're not doing the work, you're answering the phone or looking at your text. And that's how Cindy and Levi got leads from doing this marketing. Marketing and selling are two different things, and they're both important to do. Did that answer your question? If not,
Yes, it did.
ask us, Jerome, something else, and he'll explain.
Yes, it did answer my question. Thanks so much.
You're welcome, Mindy. Anybody have any questions or around digital marketing, social media, anything? Any other questions? We got about 5 minutes left. If not, we can end
I have
early.
a quick question.
Yes.
Where can we go? I've heard I just didn't write them down, or just to find out good SEO terms. I don't know if that's the proper way to phrase that question, but like
yes. Search engine optimization, like where can you go to find like good terms? Let me ask you, I'm going to answer your question with a question. What is your objective?
Get listings.
What kind of listings and where?
In Orange County.
Orange County. So we have another class or module called, what do we call it? Content creation, frustration elimination, something like that. There's a website called, I'm going to share a YouTube link to you too of one of my demonstrations of it. But there's a website called Answer the Public, and I don't know. I can't verify. I have yet to verify this, but I believe that the information on that website is from all over the internet and not just Google. And like for SEO, like it can be complicated, but it's simple. Like you got to balance out the human aspect with the computer aspect. And what I mean by that is, what are people searching for as humans, and how does it register in the computer as a person? So if you go to Answer the Public, that website, like we've done some demos and some stuff on that before. I'll share the YouTube link. Use that as your basis for SEO, like optimizing your content for SEO, because SEO is what you want to do is you want to find keywords and you want to address those things. So you specifically in Orange County, how to get listings in Orange County, if you want to attract that type of business, you need to create content around questions about listings. So what are people asking in Orange County on, like, that are trying to sell their house? They're asking, how much is my house worth? Or, you know, questions around that. Am I clear? I could do like a quick demo. We only got 3 minutes, but I can do a quick demo if I'm not making sense.
Jerome, you do this so beautifully. We should have another hour when you do the illustration, because that is just such an amazing presentation.
Demo always helps if you can do that. I don't know if everybody has time, but I have time.
Well, if you got time, I'll try to condense it down into 15 minutes, but the class officially ends at 3. So if anybody wants to leave, feel welcome to leave. I apologize for our technical issues, and if you joined the group, we'll be announcing when we'll do that actual presentation around Google Ads. For now, again, thank you everybody for coming. Thank you for participating. I really appreciate your time, your engagement, and your participation. So what I want to do really quickly is I'm going to try to show Abel, right? Am I saying your name correctly?
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
Okay. I want to try to show Abel what I mean by like SEO and how to optimize content and what he wants to build his strategy around. So that's what we're going to do. I'm about to share my screen. I need engagement. I need to know that you can share, you can see my screen. So if you see my screen, type yes in the chat. You should see social media mastermind. I just need to make sure you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, perfect. All right, so here's what we're going to do. This is one way I'm going to try to show you really quickly. I want to give you details, but I want to be macro too. So bear with me. This is, so what I'm doing in general, I am trying to find out what people are searching for on the internet. So one of the most popular web portal that we start from, we all know, is Google, right? So you can visit Google and you can do it this way. You can go to Google in Orange County. You can type that in as kind of a keyword. Orange County where, Abel? California?
Take off mute. Yeah, California, Fullerton, Anaheim, Disneyland.
Oh my God, I don't, well, that's a lot. Which one?
I'm in Fullerton, so it's like 4 miles from Disneyland, Anaheim.
All right.
Here it would be that first one, Orange County, California.
All right. So that, let me do this. Let me just go to answer the public since we only have a little bit of time. And you got to be very careful with this site because they only give you like 3 searches or something like that. I have like a little hack that I use. I use a different browser, which I'm pulling up now. They like let you refresh your IP address. It's really technical stuff. People shouldn't really care about. But I'm going to bring that up just in case. So Answer the Public is a site, and what they do is they pull questions and data from around the internet, mostly Google. I do know that it's mostly Google. I'm just not sure if it's all Google. And you can come to this site and you can type in a keyword and get questions around that keyword. So the way I do it is, like, I'll kind of mix it up from time to time, but let's say Orange County, how to get listings. So what are some questions that people are asking about selling their house, Abel?
That question that you asked, how much is my house worth?
Okay. I don't know. This is tricky. So this is the trick that, like, when you're doing like this kind of research, you want to keep the words as few as possible. But I want to type it in anyway. So how much is my house worth is the keyword.
Home value, maybe.
Okay, that's even better. Home value. Home. So it's loading, and if I type in another phrase, I think it's going to kick me out, and I would go over to my new browser. But okay, so these are questions, and this is what you want to optimize your content around. Abel, what the reason why I suggest this tool is because it gives you like a lot of it gives efficiency. I'm all about efficiency, and one of the things you can do is you can kind of download all these questions. So right here you can see it says home value there. I have 56 questions around home value. So people are asking these questions around the internet: how to increase home value for appraisal, how to calculate home value. These are people that are probably interested in selling their house potentially, right?
Right.
Okay, so you would come here, and the trick is what we usually go through in the workshop. You would download this CSV, or you could copy one of these questions, and then you would just add in your market. So how is home value assessed in Orange County, California, right?
Oh, I see.
You would start to create content around that. How does home value affect refinancing in Orange County? You would do, stuff like that. So that's how I would suggest that you optimize your content. You really want to niche down, and sometimes, like, some people might go after volume, but ideally us as real estate agents and business owners, we're really going after our ideal client. So even if you only get 100 views or 100 people are going to visit that thing, you want the leads. You don't want the views. You want to make sure you're getting the right leads. So how is home value assessed in Orange County? That's just a keyword that you would use, right? So I would use this site, and I would type in like different keywords and different key phrases, and I would just add my county around it. Is that helpful?
Nice. That's perfect. Just the tool alone is going to help a lot. Nice.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and you can also do like some stuff with Google. So as long as you kind of keep the words, like you said, like we took how much is my home worth, which is, you still kind of want to address that question. You can say that, but when you're searching, you want to, like you said, home value was a much better phrase to use versus how much as my home worth. So in
Got
Google,
it.
you want to do the same thing, like have the same consideration. You can go to Google and use what's called, like what was coming up. Those are the not auto suggestions. What are they called? Those things that come up when you're searching Google, those suggestions, whatever that is. I forget exactly what it's called, but you can use that too.
Right. Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
So
Thank you.
you're welcome. I hope that was helpful. Any other questions? Any quick questions? All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop the link one more time. I apologize for the technical glitches that we had, but I promise we will make it up. If we can't make it up, if Kyrie can't do it, I will find a way to make it up to you so you can get your Google Ads education. I'm going to post the link one more time. I'll announce it in that group. I'll announce it in our next social media mastermind. I'll figure out a way to get you access to using Google Ads to get listings. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Any further questions? All right, everybody. It's been fun. I appreciate you so much. I will see you next week, same time, same place. Social Media Mastermind. We have this class every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And next week, we're going to talk about YouTube and video marketing. And we're going to have Jaime come in and teach us about that. Okay? So hope to see you there. Thank you all so much. See you soon. You're all welcome. Denise, Soledad, Abel, Laura, Kirtland, George. Thank you. I appreciate your patience.